everyone, welcome back. You're at Purely Mixed. I'm your host Bree, and today we are going to be getting into color correcting, concealing, specifically for like acne and dark spots. So right now I am breaking out majorly. So like there's a lot here. See that here? There's a lot more on my forehead, but I've been trying to fix that. So I've been working out for the past 2 weeks and it's a lot better than it used to be, but still when I want to wear makeup, I just want to kind of make everything look seamless. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that today. And if you guys are liking my videos, please click the like and subscribe button. Let me know what you think about it. Comment below. I'd love to hear from you guys. So yeah, let's get into it. First step is priming. If your face is breaking out, you want to use a moisturizing primer because that is going to prevent the little flakies that sometimes get on your acne. So that was the Hangover RX primer from Too Faced. It's really absorbent and it's kind of like skincare more than a primer, but also a primer. Skincare in a primer, which is really nice for your face, especially when you have acne. I'm also going to be using, this is kind of expensive, but any kind of like blurring primer you can use, but this is the Farsali Skin Tune Blur. I love this. It was my splurge like a year ago. I still have it and I'm saving it forever. Putting it around my nose to get rid of, not get rid of, but like blur out my pores. I'm also gonna put it, oh, whoa. I'm also gonna put that over my acne because I want that, oh my God. I'm just gonna put this in my hand and put it on. It just wants to splurt everywhere. Put it in my hand and then put it on my face over the acne because that's gonna help blur it before we even get to the correcting and concealing part. I don't know if you guys can tell the difference, but it definitely just like kind of smoothed everything out a little, which is gonna help when you're trying to conceal everything. Next step is you want to get a good, there's like the color wheel, right? I'll see if I can insert a picture here, but there's the color wheel. So you want to pick the opposite color of what you're trying to cover. So like this acne is red, so you need to cover it with green. And if you, depending on your skin tones, your dark spots might be more brown or might be more, it depends on the darkness of them, but then you need like some kind of pink to peach color depending on your skin tone. And that's how you're gonna conceal it. So I'm taking this one. This one's like an easy one that has like all colors in it. At least for my skin tone that works. So I'm gonna take a little flat brush like that, just a concealer brush. And we're gonna go into green first off. And we're gonna cover just straight up spackle on all the red spots with the green. I've done this in my other videos, but this one, I just want to kind of focus on it just in case anyone was interested, because I know I'm specifically breaking out right now, so I just want to help anybody who's breaking out in general and just how to cover it with makeup. This also works with hickeys randomly if you're trying to cover that. With that, it's basically just looking at what the color of what you're trying to conceal is and looking at the color wheel and kind of doing the opposite, if that makes sense. So you don't want to just smear it all over the entire area because you could get just like a green hue. So kind of really pinpointing which ones you want to cover will help. And even if you don't have acne, if you just have like red areas, I know that they have, well, not green, like green tinted primers. I know that's a thing. So it just depends on your skin type and what you're trying to conceal or cover. Okay, now that I got done with the green, I'm gonna take the same brush. I'm just gonna wipe it off to get that green off. And then I'm gonna go into the peach color. Use a mixture of this peach color and then this pink color right here. Combination pink and peach. And then this one looks really dark, but it's actually a good concealer shade on me. And we're gonna cover more of the areas that are darker. Like they kind of have a red tint to them since I'm breaking out, but they're drying now. They're just spots at this point. They're just scars, because that'll help conceal the darkness of it. If you really want this to stay and like not show through, I'm not a full expert, but I have been working on ways to conceal my acne for a while. So this is just my tips and tricks to kind of get you started. But something I've learned is that if you let it set, if you let this set before you put anything on, It's really gonna help conceal it before you put the full coverage foundation on. After I put this down, I'm just gonna let it sit for like maybe 5 minutes, and then we're gonna go into foundation and concealer. Something to help it like set a little bit faster, I use my Morphe setting spray and just kind of lightly spritzed it just to help it set in place, because don't worry, it's not going to show through your foundation. Okay, next step. So we're going to take a full coverage, medium to full coverage foundation, preferably one that's buildable, just so you can, like this one, the Born This Way foundation by Too Faced is medium to full coverage foundation. So you want that just to be able to cover all this and help cover your acne. So I'm gonna take start with one pump, because this one's actually a pretty generous pump, if you guys can see that, and a brush. We're gonna dot that all over, just right on top of this. Also, make sure your fingers are clean when you're doing your makeup, period, because that can help cut down on contamination. Also, make sure your brushes are clean. That definitely helps with cutting down on acne, so you have less to conceal. And I've dealt with acne since I was like young, and it doesn't seem to want to go away. But we're here. We had a good skincare year, and you know, it was bound to come to an end at some point. So we're dealing with it as we do. It's not gonna stop me from wearing makeup, that's for sure. We're gonna blend that out. The setting spray, spray it on one side while we work, and just start tapping that in. And you see how that instantly just covers? It blends them together to kind of, and if you see a little peeking through, we're gonna add more stuff later. But the whole process that we're trying to go through is light layers, just a good amount of layers. But we want them to be thin, because we want to cover, but we don't want we don't want it to be too thick, because then we'll just cause more acne and make it worse. Honestly, there's a couple good ways to use concealer and correct. This is just my favorite way to make sure you get full coverage so you don't even see the acne anymore. Or if you do, it's very barely there. So it looks like I need to put a little bit more foundation on this side of my face, because the green is still showing through. So I'm just gonna take half a pump, and we're gonna put that on any areas that didn't fully get covered during the first pump. Start off small and then build your way up. That's why we like a buildable medium to full coverage, so we can choose how much we want on our face. Something I forgot to do, because when you have a bunch of acne in your face and it's in random places, highlighter is really hard to put on, like powder highlighter later, because it can actually like highlight what you're trying to conceal. So a trick to do that so you still have like a glowy look is to put on a liquid highlighter underneath your foundation. I forgot to do that, so I'm gonna still put some on. It's just gonna be over it, which is fine. We'll blend it out. For you guys, put it on under your foundation. And this one is Penny Liquid Glow from ABH. And we're gonna just take that on a flat brush, just like that color. It's really pretty pinky, orangey, looks like the color of a penny. And very lightly tap that on to where you highlight. And I'm gonna tap over this with my foundation brush just to get it to blend in a little bit more. Whatever highlight you use, just make sure it blends, or it matches, not matches, but will look good on your skin tone, because you don't want something like that's too silvery if you're more warm toned or if you're darker, and you don't want something too gold if you're lighter. Not saying you can't, but just make sure you know, just make sure it works with your skin tone. You know what works with your skin tone. You've been working with it. So now that we got that sitting there, take this. I have a little bit more foundation on my hand. I'm just gonna tap on over that. Make sure it blends in. See, now it like blends in seamlessly. And when we do concealer, it'll blend in even more. You see how that's basically covered for the most part? You'll still see the bumps, but when you have a full bead on, no one's barely gonna even notice the bumps, so it's fine. And now when you're trying to conceal your under eyes, I'm gonna try this new thing. It's kind of got, what is the brand name? Trestique in the shade Bisque. And it looks like it's gonna be yellow undertone, right? And then I put it on my skin. It's kind of got a pinky undertone. So I think it's gonna work to act as a corrector. So we're gonna put that directly under our eyes It's really creamy. I got it in my BoxyCharm box. It seems to pretty much match my skin tone, TBH. Normally I use this palette and I use the peach or the pink, but we're trying something different today. Either way, you're just gonna find the color that works. And maybe it's not peach for you. Maybe it's like an orangey color, or like I said, lighter pink. It just depends on your skin tone. So you can just test different things out until you find what works for you. That concealed very well, and all right. This thing also comes with a little blender on the other end, which is kind of cute. Let's see if I can tap that. Interesting. Okay. Oh, actually, okay, this is good for a no makeup day, like no makeup day, but I'm gonna use my sponge because I don't like that. Normally we let this lay, but I have a meeting today, so I need this to be finished. Lightly tapping. That actually was a really good corrector. I'm not mad at that. But I am gonna layer my concealers. So next one I'm gonna put on is gonna be Born This Way concealer in Warm Beige. Remember what I said, light layers. Multiple layers, but light layers. I take this NARS one. It is in medium 2 ginger. And I'm gonna go over any little spots, but I just wanna tap like a little bit on to those darker spots that might still be showing through for you. Okay, so I laid all the concealer in place. I blended out on this side, but I'm gonna show you how I blended on this side so it completely like is gone. So I'm just gonna take a sponge, lightly tap, because you don't want to pick up anything, you just want to blend it out. And that lighter concealer is going to help erase from the memory that you even have acne. And obviously acne is a natural part of life, but this is just help boost your confidence a little bit more by concealing them. So you see that kind of helped erase it even more. I'm going to blend out my forehead highlight, blend out my under eye. Now we're gonna go on to powders. So now I'm taking my powder, Laura Mercier, go under my eyes. Now that we hit the points we specifically wanted to highlight, I'm gonna take my all over powder from Sephora Micro Smooth in Tan, flat brush, dust into that, and just buff that all over. And that is the end of my base. I'm gonna do the rest like without talking or off camera, one of those. And yeah, then I will come back to you at the end. I'm gonna start off with my brows using the Benefit Brow Pencil in 4.5 to create a bushy brow moment. Then I'm gonna take this ABH brow gel in dark brown, and I messed up a little, but that's okay because we're gonna clean it up. Then I'm going to take the Fenty Beauty eye primer and then going to go into my Huda Beauty Topaz Obsessions palette and create a really orangey brown moment. Then I'm going to take my shimmer and pack that onto my lids. Then for my, I'm just going to clean it up. Then for inner corner, I wanted to take that color, but this brush just wasn't dense enough. So I had to take a denser brush and then try it again to make the color pop more. Then I take this mascara from Radial. And for blush, I take this Milk Lip Cheek Stain, and then I go over it with the Morphe blushes just to really make it pop more. Then I take this highlight from Wander Beauty, and it's really nice and subtle. And for lips, I take this lip liner from NYX. It's like a cool tone brown. And finally, I'm going to use a clear gloss from Floss to create a nice ombre effect. We are back. This is the final look. I just did a quick little brownish, orangish eye, did some brown lip liner with some lip gloss and some blush, and there you have it. As you can see, I'm gonna get a little bit closer. You can't clock this acne. Like, acne who? She doesn't exist. So I hope you guys learned something, can take these tips and tricks and modify it for your skin, and it helps you just feel a little bit more confident and walk with your head higher and feel better about yourself. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with having acne. It's completely normal. It's just hormones acting up with your skin and just causing acne. There's nothing wrong with it. There's a number of factors that can cause acne, but I'm not a skincare expert, so listen to your dermatologist or do your own research. But besides that, when you want to wear makeup, you still can. You just need to learn ways to cover it. So hope you guys learned something. That is all from me today, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.